Now, I know you clicked on this video because you're looking to make cost-effective products, and that is one of the biggest things that you always need to have when it comes to starting a skincare business. You want to make sure that your products are going to be at a low cost so that you can actually make money, because that's what we're doing this for. I know when I started making my skincare products, I wasn't really paying attention to the ingredients or even the materials that I was using to understand if it was actually worth the money to purchase. So in this video, I'm going to dive into some of the key factors that go into actually having a cost-effective product so that you can make sure that you are thinking about the right things in order to have more cost-effective products overall in your skincare business. What's up, my beautiful entrepreneurs? Now, when it comes to having a cost-effective product, the biggest thing that you want to look at is your overall materials. Now, when it comes to the actual jars and bottles that you're using, you really want to think about which one is going to be a lot more cost effective. Now let me know down below, do you like to use glass jars or do you prefer the plastic jars? Now I know for me, when it comes to the materials, I love to use plastic jars. Now not only are they lightweight, but they're really great for the environment overall. They're easy to reuse, they're lightweight, so it makes it easy to be able to package, so it brings down your shipping cost quite a bit when you use a plastic jar. Also, with your plastic jars, they're going to be recyclable, so this is going to be a lot more of an eco-friendly option when it comes to your skincare business. So just overall, when it comes to the shipping cost and just like the overall weight of using plastic, that is going to be a lot better option. Now when it comes to these jars, even though there is a single wall jar, these are really durable jars, so they're going to be great. They're easily to reuse, so it's not something that is going to break easy. Really great materials to use for your body butters and creams. Now when it comes to a glass jar, these are going to be extremely heavy, so this really makes your product a lot more expensive when it comes to shipping, and I know you're not going to want to pay for that shipping cost, and neither is your customer. So you want to make sure that you're only using glass jars in particular products. I find that if you're using something that's in low quantity, so like a 2-ounce serum or even like a 3.5-ounce serum would be great for a glass jar, because it's really not that heavy. It's not going to make that much of a difference inside of your packaging. You can also use it for those little tiny cute glass jars for a lip scrub, or if you're using that for eye creams, little things that you are making small packages for, then you can use a glass jar in those cases. But for your bigger products like your creams and your body lotions, you want to use a plastic jar, because that was going to be a lot more cost effective for you. Now the next thing that's going to really help with having a cost effective product is going to be your packaging. Now this is going to be a really big deal, because this goes into the jars, bottles, this goes into your labeling, the lids, and everything like that that you are using for this product. The key piece to your packaging is going to be your labels. Now when it comes to your labels, I know for me, when I first bought my labels, I didn't measure the jar properly, so I ended up buying labels that were too big. With the type of label that I bought, I wanted to have like a clear label look, and I wanted to just look like there was like handwriting on the actual jar. But really what ended up turning out happening is that it didn't look like it was just, it didn't look like it was just blending onto the jar. It was like this big sticker that was on the jar, and then the writing was rubbing off even if you touched it a little bit. Even if like some of the oil spilled out, it was getting onto the label and rubbing it off. So you want to make sure that you are looking into the proper label for your product. You want to make sure that it's going to be a waterproof label, is going to be an oil-proof label, because those are the ingredients that you are using, and you want to make sure that it's going to be a label that will stick onto your product, and you want to make sure that's something that's not going to rub off. You want to make sure that you're measuring each of your bottles and jars to know exactly what size to buy. I know for me, I just bought labels, and I was like, I kind of measured it a little bit, and I was like, oh, that should work, and I ended up buying way too many of them. So another great thing is to just buy a few. If you go on Avery, you can buy 2 sheets. You can sometimes even buy 1 sheet of a label, just for you to be able to test it out, even if that means you having them print one for you with your label writing and everything on it, so you can test it out on your actual jar to make sure that it actually works and it actually is the size that you want. That way you can tweak it and add. You can make a longer label, you can make it a thicker label if necessary, you can change the wordage and like the sizing of the words on the label if it's too small. There's so many different critiques that you can make to your label if you give yourself enough time to actually test out all of those parts, because your labels and your jars all together can sometimes cost you upwards $2 per jar or bottle that you are using. So you really want to make sure that you are buying something that's going to work, and don't buy too many of them at one time. Always test that out as well. When I first started out, I noticed that a lot of people were using the confetti paper in order to take up space inside of the box so that the products weren't moving around in the box. When it comes to that confetti paper, it's actually pretty heavy. When you start to really pack it into the box to make sure that nothing's moving, it gets pretty heavy. So imagine doing that and then having a big glass jar in there. You're gonna have a really heavy package, so it's gonna be really expensive. So by cutting out the confetti paper altogether, I started using the packing peanuts. Now, packing peanuts are biodegradable. I'll have a link for some down below because these are really great to use. Again, they're biodegradable. They are also extremely lightweight. It doesn't feel like there's anything, so it's literally as if there's nothing else inside of the package but the jars that you added inside. So those packing peanuts are really crucial. Having more cost-effective products for your packaging for shipping is really crucial to make sure you can have high enough margins so that you don't have to worry about your packages being too heavy. Now for a bonus tip. If you are using the free shipping model where your shipping cost is included into the product price, then you can increase your profit by decreasing the cost of your raw materials, your packing materials, your labels, and the vessels that you're using them in without having to increase the overall product price. Now, this is going to be the most cost-effective way because no one really likes to pay for shipping, so having free shipping is very, very crucial. If you are needing a customized plan where I can help you increase your profit up to 70%, then click on my Calendly link down below where you can book a one-on-one session on business development. Now, the next way that you're going to make a more cost-effective product is by having a very simple formula. Your formula is going to be extremely important when it comes to your product because you want to make sure that it's something that's not overly complicated. When it comes to having a cost-effective formula, you want to make sure that you're using very simple ingredients. You want to make sure that it is a formula that you can easily replicate and be able to easily change if necessary. By having too many different oils and different additives and extracts, this can be confusing for you when you're first making your formula and allowing you to have more consistency throughout your products. Now, when it comes to your formulas, you really want to simplify them as much as possible. And then this really goes into making sure you understand each ingredient that you're using and not using two of the same ingredients or using two ingredients that give the same benefits. So like olive oil and avocado, for example, they both contain up to 20% of a saturated fat called palmic acid. Now with this really helps to soothe and smooth your skin. Now, due to the fact that this is a great characteristic of olive oil and avocado oil, you don't need to use both of them in the same formula. You can choose to use either or. Now, olive oil is going to be a little bit more on the affordable side than avocado oil, so this will also help to bring down the cost of your overall product in your body oils, for example. Now, if you're looking for a summer ready shimmer oil that you can add to your product line, watch this video here where I share with you step by step how to make a beautiful white shimmer oil, and I'll catch you in the next one.